Okay, so we are going to, actually, hold on a second. So now, what I want you guys to do is, we're gonna be introducing you to Illustrator today. As you can see, we're gonna work ourselves up to just drawing these type of figures. And right now, it seems simple, but we're gonna get used to those tools. We did it for Photoshop. Photoshop looked a lot better, guys. I think you guys have gotten a lot, you moved a lot compared when you started. And I think at this point, unfortunately, we have to stop and now we go concentrate to Illustrator. So since it's the first week, the first half of the class is gonna be practicing how to use the pen tool. This image, please save it to your desktop or whatnot. This is the homework. Now, why is that the homework? I want you to draw the tank once we figured out how to use the pen tool today, okay? It seems very straightforward, but the thing is, there's a learning curve on how to use the pen tool. Now, everything will all for Illustrator, yes, in case, anytime that we're gonna use Illustrator, we're gonna have something here to reference, always. So that way everyone knows what they're doing, how they're gonna go about things, like everything, all the images, everything that references is always gonna be for Illustrator. Go to Brightspace, download it, and then we're gonna continue the lesson, okay? Okay, so now we go into Illustrator. You have this page. We're gonna do the same thing that we did in Photoshop, which is new file. We're gonna do letter. Now it says 8.5 by 11. Remember? Not CMYK. Same thing, RGB. 300 PPI. It's not depth per inch, it's points per inch. Why? What's the difference between Photoshop and Illustrator? Does anyone know? Yeah, please, Alejandro. Excuse me? Yes, and you got it. So the thing is that Photoshop uses pixels. Pixels, when you zoom in, you will see those little squares, and when you zoom in so much, it gets blurred, correct? With bitmap, that's what Illustrator is. That's not how, they don't not use pixels. So, okay, let's do create. So that's, even if we zoom in all the way, meaning, look at me, making a line, I can zoom in all the way inside the line, all the way. It's not pixelated, correct? If I were to do that in Photoshop, I will see little pixelations, correct? Those little squares. That's not what happens in Illustrator. Okay, so let me just go back to what this was before. So as soon as you hit new, you will see this new page, correct? Everyone's good? Okay. Same thing. You need to see your taskbar in the top. If you don't see your taskbar in the top, you go to Window, Workspace, Essential Classic. Once again, if you don't see any of these options at all, go to Window, Workspace, Essential Classic. Okay? Now, we are gonna get acquainted with some of the tools. If you hover with your mouse or your cursor, you'll notice that it does the same thing that in Photoshop, which is it gives you a preview of what the tool is, correct? Now, we have the difference here is we have a selection tool and we have a direct selection tool. These are gonna be your friends, always. There's two. In Photoshop, we only have one tool, which is select tool, and that's it, correct? Or like, and then we had wands and lassos and all these things. No. Direct tool and select tool and direct selection. And you'll notice what the difference is after today. Okay, so now if we scroll down a little bit, we're gonna find our pen tool. We are gonna click on our pen tool. As soon as I click my pen tool, my mouse became a pen. If you cannot find your pen tool, press P. And it should be this pen tool. Nothing with the little plus sign or minus sign or anything. This pen tool. Not the friend next to it that has a little curvy line. That's not the one we're using. We're using the plain pen tool. Does everyone have their pen tool now? Okay. I want you to make sure that you have, you see this little square? That's the fill. That's what's inside. And the stroke is gonna be this outline. That's gonna be black. Okay, does everyone have that? If you don't, press D. Actually, press D. You see the difference? Once you do D, automatically this goes back to the default. Okay? Now, I need you, we're gonna practice pen tool today. I want you to click the page, let go, move your cursor, look at me. You see, that's a preview line. Click again. You notice that I made a line? Look. Making lines. That's the preview, I'm clicking. Okay? Now, if let's just say, for me to not have this preview, either I press escape to let go, or I close the line by making sure you know you're closing the line because it's point to point. You see point to point, and that little circle shows up that I'm closing the line. Okay? Let's do this again. We're gonna click around our page. Get used to it. It feels weird, right? Like, the next thing I want you to do now, since we clicked around our pages, I want you to do this. So listen to this carefully. Click, hold, and drag. You see the difference? Let me do it again. Click, first click, then the next click you're gonna hold and drag out. Look what happened here. Now, I'm gonna go to the bottom. I'm gonna click, hold, and drag. 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 I need all of you to do a wave. This, right here. Okay? And that's what we're gonna do first right now.